Hello Taurus, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Taurus for the middle of February. Now Taurus, do keep in mind this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now Taurus, I do not offer personal readings, so if you get a message from someone that is not me, that's someone impersonating me, please do keep that in mind. Please do not get scammed. I also do exclusive content on my Instagram, so if that's your thing, definitely give me a follow there. But with all of that said, let's go ahead and see what we have here for you. Now, just a small percentage of the people who watch my content are actually subscribed. And so if you watch my videos regularly and you've not yet hit the subscribe button, please do consider doing that. It really helps my channel grow in a big way. Same is true if this is just the first time that you are watching me. All right, so make sure everything's in view here. I'm going to be doing a pyramid spread. So I think that looks just about good enough to me. Put this right here. And all right, so taking a look here, I like what I see for you. In fact, I think for some of you, you are moving out of, I think in some respects, February, and maybe even before, to start off 2022, has been about looking at your thoughts around money. And I do feel like there's something good coming in, and I'll tell you why, but let's just go ahead and get right into it. Your overall message for this middle of the month is the Empress. So the Empress is all about abundance. It's the biggest card of abundance to find in the tarot. And the reason being is the Empress is the mother archetype. And so you can say that the Empress nurtures something, a part of their path, in the same way that a mother would nurture their children, right? And so you can apply this to anything, your job, your money situation, your investments, a side hustle, nurturing something at this time to bring it into full bloom, and allow it to grow at its full capacity. The Empress is also the sign of Venus, or I'm sorry, the planet of Venus here, as you can see the Venus symbolism here. And Venus is beauty and love, but it's also about luxury and wealth as well. And so another reason why the Empress is a big card of abundance, and it says that you're fertile, right? You're fertile in resources, in your ability to start something. Major card of having resources available. And it's also the mother archetype, as I think I've probably already said. So for some of you here, what's been going on is in the past, you have this Hermit card as well as the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is in many ways like the opposite energy of the Empress. The Five of Pentacles is all about potential scarcity mindset or scarcity in general. And so what I like to see here is I think some of you have spent a long period of time, or a good portion here, on your own thinking about your money situation, okay? And in the past, the reason being is the Hermit is typically someone who's maybe on their own, traveling through, doing a solo journey, looking for answers, looking to acquire wisdom. You can see the beard, the walking cane. This person is wise, and they're on the path of the sage, but it does indicate potential isolation and purposeful isolation, right? So they can learn the answers that they're looking for. And for you, I feel like this has been related to money. I feel like this has been around your thoughts towards scarcity and your thoughts towards getting your ends meet, allowing you to meet ends here financially. And I think what is happening is with this Five of Pentacles and now the Empress in the middle, I do think that some of you are recognizing that there is so much abundance available to you at this time. And I think you've spent a lot of time changing your thoughts here. And so I really like to see what's going on. Now, in the future, you have another really nice sign. I do think things are going to really start picking up here for you. You have the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Wands here in the future. So the Ace of Cups is all about some sort of happy new beginning in your life. It is like allowing your cup to be filled, and not only be filled, but overflow with joy, with celebration, with happiness. And so it can come forward when you potentially meet a new romantic partner, or you're starting there may be like new energy in your love life or something along those lines. But it can also say that perhaps some of you are also getting a creative project off of the ground. If you're not here for romance, like if you're already in a relationship and your relationship's going well, this can say that it's going to continue going well. But it can also say that perhaps perhaps you are looking to acquire some sort of new level of happiness in your life, and not so much the romantic end of it, right? And lastly, you have this Knight of Wands, which says that you are a maverick. Okay, this is the card of being a jack of all trades. You have so many different talents, gifts, and abilities that you kind of always have your hand in the cookie jar, in multiple cookie jars, and you can really use those things to benefit your career and benefit your sort of work life. And so with the Knight of Wands, it says like, keep being passionate, keep going after your talents. But the Knight of Wands, knights are almost always events in the tarot. And so in particular, this one is potentially about moving residence, changing location, going to a new place, seeing new people, anything like that showing up with the Knight of Wands. And so, some of you may be changing postcode or like moving for a new job or something like that here. Let's dive into it a little bit more. Let's continue up the pyramid. So you have the Four of Swords, you have the Nine of Wands, the Moon, and the Seven of Pentacles. All right, so if you feel like you are losing hope here, I would say it's a good time for you to stick to what you know is true and persevere at this time, because the Nine of Wands here, this person is about to give up, but in reality, the worst thing that they could do is give up at this time, because they don't realize it, but they are literally standing at the finish line. Okay, they are about to cross the finish line. And so when you get this card, it's a major energy of perseverance and continuing forward on your journey, not giving up at this time. It can say that maybe some of you are a little bit defensive or timid, or there could even be something or someone that's annoying you when you get the Nine of Wands. And I feel like it's something to do around this energy of money that I think some of you are really going to persevere through at this time. The Four of Swords here is all about healing, and specifically healing from heartbreak. You can see the Three of Swords card, which is a card of separation, severance, heartbreak. The Three of Swords card is on the banner above this person, and they are healing from that situation. It can say that it's a good time to rest. It's a good time to recover. I do think some of you are having financial recovery here, and I think that this is through maybe even acquiring some mindfulness with the Four of Swords, like a mindfulness practice at this time. Like if you could do this, after you watch this reading if you want to, but anytime that you feel your mind go towards scarcity, note that, like do something like snap your fingers, or like wave your hand or shake your head, or do something where you signal to yourself, I'm not going to have those thoughts in my mind anymore. And this can act as a form of mindfulness here. And you'll start to recognize the potentially negative thoughts around scarcity in your life. I think some of you are maybe acquiring a different mindset when it comes to your money situation. You have the Moon as well, indicating that potentially something's not as it appears. It can represent like an overly emotional situation. And so emotions and money are very hard. Okay, it's very hard to deal with that situation. What could have happened is some of you maybe have gone through a period of being without a job in the past. I don't think this. I'm not predicting this. The reason I say it's in the past is you have the Five of Pentacles in the past, as well as recovery, and the Nine of Wands, both showing up in the past with the Four of Swords. And so and also being alone here with the Hermit. So I feel like for some of you, you're moving out of that stage. The Seven of Pentacles indicates long-term investments paying off and changes in directions potentially, especially as you have the Knight of Wands. I feel like some of you are going to have a really nice long-term situation here in the future, especially as you have the Ace of Cups with it as well, which is happy new beginnings. Yeah, look, you have the Two of Cups, you have the Seven of Cups, and the Judgment card. So this is one of these readings where money and emotions are sort of being tied together here. And again, it's a very challenging situation. Cups is about emotions. It is about your emotional life, your emotional body, all of those sorts of things. It's also about joy, celebration though. The Two of Cups can represent partnerships. Some of you may have separated from somebody, and you may have been like dependent on them, but the Hermit is all about independence or being on your own. And so I feel like perhaps some of you learned how to become a little bit more independent. That's not for everybody, but if for some of you, you may have been dependent on somebody and that may have ended in the past. I also think perhaps there might have been an ending with a business partner or with a colleague or something along those lines if it's not love related. The Seven of Cups represents potentially being overwhelmed by the amount of choices and options available. The good news with the Seven of Cups is that there are a lot of options, right? You have a lot of different cups to choose from. You have a lot of things on the horizon. And the Judgment card says you are going through potentially a spiritual awakening here as you take a look at the choices you've made up to this point. It's all about your karma, the choices that you've made up to this point sort of rendering out in real time. And through that period of going through self-evaluation, it can lead to a spiritual awakening. So for some of you, this is really big. So you have the Six of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles here as we go up the pyramid. And so the Six of Swords, I really like to see that for you. That's all about moving on to calmer shorelines. Calmer shores, moving on to better places. And the reason being is they are leaving the challenge of the Five of Swords behind them, and they're moving towards something that is more fulfilling for them. And so it can represent transitions to new places, going to seeing new people, trying new jobs, trying new things in general. And the Queen of Pentacles is all about practicality. And specifically around your money situation, it comes forward oftentimes when I look at people who are maybe looking at budgeting, planning their financial situation out, being smart with their money, being a smart money manager. And so I think some of you are maybe doing that. This can also be someone who has a high social status as well. And I love this for you here, Taurus. You have the Nine of Cups to close this out. So the Nine of Cups ultimately is the fulfillment of a wish. And it's one of the most positive cards to pull in the tarot. In fact, this person has the energy of pure joy. Things are going well in their life. Their dream has been manifested. And so to get that at the top of the pyramid is very good for you. You also have this Queen of Wands here, which represents attraction, not just in the romantic sense, but also attracting job opportunities, especially as you have that combined with the Seven of Cups. I do feel like some of you have been looking for a job. It's very possible sometime February, March that this comes in. And I do feel like maybe this will be long-term, but also be authentic when you get the Queen of Wands. Be your authentic self, and everything will fall into place as you have the Nine of Cups at the top. So I love this for you. Happy ending. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe, and I appreciate you. Take care. I will see you in the next reading.